Need to type.
We're live.
You're
Welcome,
live.
everybody. You're on with Dave Green and Seneca Hines of Iconic Radio. This is Dave Green from Minutes Well Spent. We're going to cover just a few movies for you this month. Since there's just a few movies to cover for you this month, looks like we're still in mid-drought, so we're calling this our mid-drought episode. Seneca, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, wonderful. That's good stuff. So, Seneca, I think you got a list over there of some TV stuff you want to cover. Let's jump right in.
I think you're getting text messages.
I am. My trusty other phone is getting some text messages.
Okay. Let's get right on in. If you have not been watching Gotham, you have been missing the best sitcom since The Blacklist. It is clearly the best. It's awesome. It's intricate. No one's safe. Jim Gordon, you could have known that he was about to go somewhere. However, it's well written. They just not building up on Bruce Wayne's character. Some of the villains that they introduced, you kind of like see where all of these are stair-stepping to the big need for injunction for Batman. I don't want to give out too much. Bullock's character is amazing. Seeing Jada Pickett as a villain again, great stuff. Seeing Penguin's manipulation on everything, he's like on some next level stuff. Seeing Edward Nygma working for the police department again, all these nice little characters. They even had another snippet of Bane, the Venom that they're going to use for Bane, in here already. It's been an awesome. I can't even complain. Like, Gotham can't do no wrong.
I have got about 5 episodes of Gotham or more on my DVR, so I am definitely guilty of tuning in and then tuning out, not because I don't like the show, but because there's so much other material out there that I'm trying to keep up with, trying to stay current with Flash, for instance. I think Flash is also one of the better properties on television right now. I think both Gotham and Flash outshine the Shield by Agents of Shield by
Wait, I didn't hear
miles. Yeah, what is that?
Shield?
What is
Were
that
you asking for shields? Were you raising shields?
I think that both those shows outshine Shield. I think that the storyline and what they're building toward with Flash is going to be incredible. And let's not leave out, since we're talking about DC. I think Arrow is taking a turn for the better. He's got a team now. He's dealing with some pieces, and is kind of tuned into what they're doing on Flash. They're kind of happening simultaneously. And I stand by what I've said before, and I'll say it again. I would love to see that next season they take Gotham and flash forward about 10 to 15 years to an older Bruce Wayne getting behind the mask and taking on. I mean, obviously he's got to go through some things. He's got to go join the League of Shadows. He's got to do some other things. But I would really just love to see them flash forward in a couple of seasons and give us a little bit more of the Caped Crusader that we've come to know and love before he becomes the Dark Knight and some of the other things, in which case they may be able to tie him into some of the other 2 series. Although I think that will be wrong, because I don't think Batman gets to meet those guys until the Justice League actually forms. But either way, I'm loving what all 3 of those shows that DC has out there. I'm looking forward to what they're going to do on Netflix with Daredevil and some of the other properties that they're going to do in the future coming into 2015. So DC gets a thumbs up in the television universe. They're doing on television
Two
what
thumbs.
Marvel.
In fact,
Yeah,
if I have 4 thumbs, I will put 4 thumbs up.
I give you two more. There you go. I think they're doing what Marvel's doing in the cinematic universe. They've got television on lock. Marvel has got to step up their game if they want to compete on the small screen with DC on any level. So let's get into
What Marvel sitcom do they have?
the Shield one.
Mm, mm, mm.
No,
And you know what? Arrow ranks low, and Arrow beats Shield.
okay, all right. No,
I know that the Flash and the Arrow is going to do a lot more cross. They got like 3 more episodes together.
they are.
The next one is
I'm looking forward to that.
the next one that we have is Constantine, and Constantine is not a family movie. If you are thinking that this is another DC character, however, he is straight into magic. They doing exorcism. You seeing bugs. You seeing vomit. You're watching a mini exorcism. Nothing like the movie. The movie was very high level stuff. This has gone like deep and dark. You don't even want to be bothered with this for real. I have watched some of the episodes thinking that there might be some glimmer of light. I saw the fallen angel that's constantly talking to him, but it is very dark. This is truly only for the comic book lover. I don't see this just saying, "Oh, this is a family movie that we're going to just say awesome to." This is obviously not for the family.
Well, I'm not proud to say that I watched the first episode with my wife, and I am no longer allowed to show Constantine in my house in any way, shape, or form. And I won't be tuning into Constantine until I'm on a trip somewhere, and I got a few hours to kill. I'll catch up. But it did look promising.
Have your holy water, the anointed oil. Put the anointed oil there.
I'm gonna take Seneca's very, very trusty word. I'll trust Seneca on that one. He says watch it. I say watch it, but don't watch it with a scaredy cat spouse because you may get banned like I am. But since we're on a little bit of horror, I got to go to my Always in My Pocket series. Supernatural is on year 10. And there's been some hits and some misses in 10 years, but I got to give a shout out to Supernatural. It's one of my favorite shows, and they don't take themselves too seriously. They ride out the plots, they ride out the storylines, and they go where the script takes them. But you've got 10 seasons of Supernatural that you can catch up on. You can watch them on Netflix. You can watch them on Hulu. If you got some time to kill, you find yourself bedridden or jobless, or just on a job that gives you time to watch something like this, go back and check out Supernatural, and then also you might want to get caught up on Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow is still one of the better TV shows on television. They haven't missed a beat. I enjoy both of those a great deal. So we've covered superhero-dom. We've covered some horror stuff. I do want to cover one thing very quickly. I'm going to say it really, really quickly. I didn't watch it, but there's been a great big outpour of disappointment, I would say, online about Lifetime's version of the Aaliyah life story. The funniest, most hilarious memes online that I've ever seen in my entire life, where they attempt to determine what character or person or being would be cast for various life stories. If you are not tuned into social media, this might be the week to do it, just because those were some very funny items. The casting and the acting for the Aaliyah life story was really bad. And since I'm an entertainment critic and it's an entertainment broadcast, I'm gonna just throw it out there. If you DVR'd it, go ahead and delete that now. You You don't really need the hours of your life dedicated to a Lifetime original movie about Aaliyah. Um, in my house, it was DVR'd, and after some feedback from the masses, we just went ahead and decided to save that 2 hours of our life and not bother. So, yeah, I won't be watching that. Did you get any feedback on that one, Seneca? You
Um, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I follow Timberland, and he openly said, "Do not watch this movie," as he thoroughly roasted from beginning to end. I mean, it was kind of like Scandal, where Thursday nights is like, don't if you're watching Scandal or you miss Scandal, you don't watch the news feeds. No. Well, this past Sunday, the news feeds was ridiculous. I'm sorry, Saturday, the news feeds was ridiculous.
wow.
They couldn't use Aaliyah songs because the family didn't support it. The original girl who was supposed to play Aaliyah, once she realized that the family didn't support it, backed out of it. This was a second person, like a number two. Um, and the portrayal of R. Kelly was hilarious. The some of the pictures was just unreal. I think Wendy Williams should stick to being a TV show hostess. You know, that's what she should stay in. I don't think she should go into directing or producing. I kind of got Tyler Perry in there a little bit too, but you know that's that's of course a different color.
Hey, because I was completely not planning to watch this thing ever anyway. Are you telling me that Wendy Williams was the producer of this?
Yes, she was the producer of this.
I'm completely done. I'm moving on. So, in other news, there's been a couple of films that have been released that I told Seneca that I wanted to cover. Two released November 7th that I didn't tell Seneca that I was going to cover, but I'd like to discuss very briefly. And in all honesty, I didn't see them. I've got some fellow reviewers out there, one being Joelle Jackson. I call her 123 Reviews, or movie reviews by the numbers. She kind of lays it out for you very plainly. Shout out to her. And then also to a dear friend, Jason Jazz Lugo. He's all things comics. So I can depend on Jason to be clear. He says, quote, Big Hero 6, see it. He texted me. He said, sir, Big Hero 6. That usually means it's great. He enjoyed it thoroughly. And
Really?
Absolutely. Loved it. And then Interstellar. I'll speak to Interstellar. I've got a lot of mixed reviews on that. Joel says no, who I say again is from what I like to call movie reviews by the numbers. And then I've got another friend who's not a reviewer who absolutely loved it, but I'm going to go with Joel and pass on that one until such time I can catch it at home video. And then last but not least, Beyond the Lights was spoken to by Joel, who said it was a fantastic film. It gets 3 stars on IMDb, so you know, see it at your own risk. I'm passing on that. The 2 movies that I saw most recently were Fury. I can tell you now, Fury is a good war movie. Brad Pitt was fantastic. Shia LaBeouf was LaBeouf, however you say his Frenchness. It was amazing. I enjoyed it. I never remember his name, but the young man that played Shane on The Walking Dead was as despicable in this movie as he has ever been, which is a good thing. He stayed true to character. I really enjoyed the movie. And then the other film that I have seen recently, other than Fury, Seneca, what movie did I say?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
The Judge.
Judge. Oscar award-winning quality. I think that it'll definitely see some nominations. These guys were amazing. Robert Duvall, hands down, amazing. Robert Downey Jr., hands down, amazing. And the young man that played Robert Downey Jr.'s younger brother. I would not be surprised if he got a supporting actor nod for his performance as a special needs family member. I thought he did a great job. So for me, those are the movies that I've seen. Seneca, have you seen anything that you wanted to speak to before we jump into what's coming?
I'm in the middle of my drought. None of those movies caught my attention.
Yeah, same for me, kind of. I think movie passes and dead time kind of got me to the theater a little bit. I actually have passes to see a preview for The Wedding Ringer with Kevin Hart tomorrow. I'm probably going to
Deuces.
yeah, I will make a couple of calls tonight to some other reviewers in the area and see if they want to take my seats for that one. Mostly because my schedule won't permit it tomorrow. But this drought has been deplorable. As I look ahead to what's coming, we're not going to talk about Dumb and Dumber 2.
Which is the number one movie. The number one movie.
Because nothing else is out. But and they give it 4 stars. Some people say it's good. It's just not my level of a movie. So we can talk about The Hunger Games. We can talk about Exodus, Gods and Kings. We can talk about Annie. We can talk about Night at the Museum 3. We can talk about The Hobbit. Unbroken comes out at the end of the year. I can't lie and say that I'm not excited about seeing that film. I think Angelina Jolie is going to do an amazing job with that movie, and it could be one of the reasons that a lot of people are staying out of the fray for the Oscars this year. Angelina's movie is getting a lot of buzz, and because of it being such a light year, it may actually clean up. I actually think it may do well because the year has been so light on Oscar fare. Let's back up to the Hunger Games. Seneca, what's your thoughts?
Hunger Games. I liked initially how the Hunger Games started off. I've seen them all. The second one kind of like ended abruptly, like it was going like 60 miles per hour, then stopped. So I'm anticipating for this to kind of like pick up right where it left off from the sequel. But I'm also, again, going to anticipate another stop because they try to make as much money as possible, and they're going to go ahead and do that part 2.
Well, I read 3 books.
I have not read the books.
Well, book 3 was the worst of the set. It was the longest of the set, and it's a great departure from the first 2 films. The formula that made the first 2 books successful, she goes away from it in the 3rd book in Mockingjay. And you can expect, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze in now. So, you're going to
It's cold.
You're going to find that this one's going to move a little bit slower. It's going to go more. What?
No, don't let it go slower.
Yeah, unfortunately. And usually I sneeze 3 times, and I can feel the other one. Great timing. So, I don't know. It's going to go slower. Expect it to be slower, and expect it to have an altogether different feel in terms of what's happening in that cinematic universe. There's no more. I'm going to just spoiler alert. There's no more. There's no more of the arena. She's out there leading the revolution now. So it's going to be a little bit different than the other 2. Tread softly, tread lightly when you're going to see this one. See it at your own risk. I'm of course going to see it because my daughter will have it no other way. But I'm not, and it's a 2-parter. I'm not a fan of when movies when they do that, when they turn what should have been a trilogy into a quadrilogy. I think that's greedy.
Twilight. That's all I gotta say. Twilight. They did that gay move, and yes, I said it. Gay move. It took the fight scene away. How do you take the fight scene away? They were supposed to go in. Is that the church?
That's the one moment, please finger. Wow, you went straight there. Yeah, you don't turn it into 4 movies when it should clearly be 3. I think that's greedy. I think it's useless. I think it's stretching it out, and it cheats audiences, and it just really says that you don't respect your audience a lot. And I'm disappointed in the Hunger Games trilogy for doing this. So enough said about the Hunger Games. See it at your own risk. I think it's going to be slow. You heard it here first. What do you think? You're not going to see it?
I have to see it. I already saw the first 2.
Okay, what else is coming up this year? We did Hunger Games.
Nothing. Hunger Games was that heartbeat. Horrible Bosses look like it's going to be hilarious, but again, comedies that are sequels don't do all that well with me. I'm saying that Horrible Bosses 1 was hilarious. Cried laughing.
Okay.
But
I may check it out.
Well,
see. The vote's out on that one for me.
The vote out is on that one. All I got to say is, guess what? Hangover 1 cried laughing. And then they constantly made another one and another one. And then there's a Christian version of Hangover 4 next year in March during the Stellar Weekend. I should have said that.
Yeah, we let's not put the cart before the horse. I don't even think I want to know this. So, that was almost unforgivable. Hey, Exodus, Gods and Kings, man. My vote is out. I don't have a lot of faith in religious films right now. Not after Noah was deplorable. So we'll wait a week on that one, and we'll come back to that one after I've looked at the trailer a couple times. I'm looking forward to The Hobbit because I really want to see the dragon destroy everything in its path. That's a no for you. The remake of Annie, most of us think is useless. I met a couple of kids the other day between 8 and 11. They have no idea who Annie is. So I think it's going to make some money. It's a holiday film next to Night at the Museum. I think it's coming out at just the right time to run away with, with some high level revenue. It's going to be a good movie. I'm not staking my reputation on anything else for the rest of the year. We'll talk about 2015 coming into December. In a few weeks, we start talking about 2015 because 2014, after August 2014 just went, it stopped. So that's that for me, man. I don't know. What else do you have? Any thoughts?
Well, I think we should talk about the 10 worst movies that you should not watch for 2014. We got to give people some heads up of what not to buy for a DVD.
Let's make that our next topic. Since the year is practically over, the next week to 2 weeks, we'll go over the top 10 worst of 2014. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I got top 20. I mean,
yeah, it was a bad year, man. It was a bad year. So, with that said, man, I won't drag this out, man. I'm Dave Green with Minutes Well Spent.
Surprise guest again. It is my honor to go ahead and talk about these movies with you, Mr. Minute Well Spent, David Green Sensei.
All right, man. Well,